Hey guys, how's it going? Today we are doing an unboxing. This has not been teased nearly as much as the Boyd's Forest Dragon, but we have a special surprise right behind me. And of course, probably you guys know at this point, I released a video on it just on Monday. I got a bunch of new enclosures, so maybe there's something new going in there. Well, obviously there is, because I have an unboxing to do today. So let's get to it, and let's unbox this reptile. Okay, so I'm really excited for this. I already started it, so it doesn't take forever to open, although I obviously missed a couple pieces of tape. So I'm super pumped. I'm really excited to see how this one looks. I think you guys will be super excited as well. I think this is the next step in my breeding journey. So we got a little heat pad there. Let's see. Oh man. Okay. Cool. Looks to be in good shape. See an eye open. Let me go ahead. I actually use these for my eggs. So what do you put it in? Wow, look at you. Before giving it away and showing you guys what I got, make sure you subscribe in the lower right hand corner. Hit that bell as well for the latest updates. I had to do it before I showed you guys, sorry. Alright, so like I said, next step in my breeding journey, we have a Hendrik Red Ackie Monitor, female. I'm really excited to breed some Hendriks. Hendrik is a line of Ackies. There's quite a few lines. I've been learning a lot about it recently from John Mendoza, and I am really excited to be breeding Hendriks. Now this is just a female, so you know, take that what you will. Maybe there's going to be a little bit more to say about that in the future. So far, she's a little standoffish, but that's fine. Obviously, we need to establish some trust, but very cold, so I'm going to get her in the enclosure, let her warm up. Looks very beautiful though, a little deflated. Looks like she might have laid a clutch recently. And then I do wish that the previous owner disclosed the tail here. I mean, it's not the end of the world, it's okay. But I just wish he disclosed that. That would have been nice of him. But she looks pretty calm for the most part. It is said that reds can be a little bit more temperamental than yellows, so we'll have to see. But I'm going to get her in her enclosure. Okay guys, so it's been about a week. I've been letting her get settled before we really check in on her. Obviously I have been. She's been eating well, pooping well, doing all the things she needs to do to be a thriving Ackie. Very skittish though, very skittish. So I've been working towards that, and she's very food motivated. I don't really blame her too much since, like I said, it looks like she might have laid recently, so she does need to put back on some weight. So I've been making sure she's eating all her inverts. I might even offer her a pinky, which I typically like to do after a female laid. But I've been trying to interact with her. That's been going pretty well, I will have to say. Although, like I said, she is pretty food motivated, so I do not trust her too much right now. Hopefully I can show off a little bit of that interaction in a moment. But it's a bonding process, it's a taming process, it's a trust process, not only for this Ackie, but for yourself. So let's actually go do that. Let's do that now. Okay, so I have Olivia filming for this one, because I can't do both, but let me show some interaction with her. I gotta go really slow. Remember what we know about Ackie Monitor taming and interaction. You can see when she kind of gets like that, obviously very defensive. They kind of puff up, get blown up, and they kind of walk away sideways. They're not really sure of themselves and of you. So you want to be very slow and don't overstep your bounds. If they kind of jerk back a little bit, then kind of go slower, maybe pause. You can see now she's checking me out, which is good. This is kind of the food motivation part I'm not really a fan of. You can see how she kind of gets a little aggressive with her movements as she gets towards me. Usually I see that in Ackies only kind of during food time, when they think that they're being fed or there's, you know, something they can eat. So I kind of am a little tentative about that. I also think she's trying at different angles. She also might see me as a threat. That's another reason she could be kind of approaching me like that, like she's in food mode. So we'll have to see. I do love that she's checking me out. The previous owner was able to hold her and interact with her, so obviously there is that potential. I think she just needs to get used to me, my scent, and just know who I am. Definitely getting a little defensive though. I actually am now seeing her right now. See how she kind of, that was definitely defensive right there. So I definitely have to say now I'm very convinced in this instance right here. I haven't interacted with her this much just yet, that this is all kind of defensive behavior and really not food motivated. I think she's just kind of trying to get me out of her territory. But this is something to work on. Like I said, the really good part, and this is big, if you have an Ackie who's not really into you, but they approach you and check you out, lick you, even if they have this type of behavior where they're scared, that's good. That means that there's progress that will definitely be made and can be made because they're interacting with you. And of course, in typical Ackie fashion, when they get too fed up with you and they are a little bit too worried, they go into their hide/burrow and peek their little heads out. So that's where she's retreating now. And this is a good sign when you're doing Ackie monitor taming and bonding to leave them be for a little bit. You only want to interact with them when they're out and about and willing to deal with you. If they retreat to their hide and you still try to interact with them, all you're teaching them is that they don't really have a safe space. And you want them to have a safe space in case they get too overwhelmed and they feel like they could be comfortable there. So that way they know in their enclosure they have the ability to have a place where they're always just able to be by themselves, be an individual, and not have to worry about anything else. Additionally, having a comfortable area where they can go and feel safe, I feel like is more important. And this is just a hunch, nothing scientific. I don't think any of this is really scientific. It's just antecedent evidence based off of what I've seen. Basically, that's what that means. So I think this is much more important, having a safe space to a female than a male. Because a female, if they don't feel comfortable laying their eggs in their current environment, they will hold on to them. And that is a leading cause of death in a lot of female reptiles, especially Ackies. So you want to make sure they have the safe space, not only for comfort, but because it could really disturb a lot of their other biological processes and their behaviors and how they go to the bathroom even, and how they bath, stuff like that. So that's why it's important. It's not just for comfortability, but it's also for, you know, biological means. Looks like this video turned into a little bit of a taming bonding lesson as well for Ackies, which I guess is appropriate being that this is a new Ackie in my care and a good way to show off some of those methods. I do just kind of want to show you guys what the enclosure looks like, because in the Ackie Monitor building enclosures video where I built these two enclosures, I didn't really show this one up close because I really didn't want to spoil the surprise at that time. But basically, enough climbing there. I got all this wood from my neighbor. I really appreciate that. It's really weird how excited I got about wood I can collect for free. So, but this is basically what they look like. You see, LG's is a lot more cluttered compared to the red, which doesn't have a name yet. I gotta think of one, but I think that's fine. It's enough that she can get enough climbing and enrichment out of. She can get close enough to the UVB to bask and close enough to the basking bowl to hit the temperature she needs. So just two kind of different setups. I like both of them very much though. And just to quickly add, this is my first time experimenting with rocks in Ackie enclosures, which I think is going to work really well. I specifically like LG's, which is right here, because you can burrow in between them, but I also have them in the red's enclosure over here. I just have one there which she can burrow under. So that's something interesting, and I'm trying to see how they'll behave around rocks in their enclosure. Earlier in the video, I talked about how breeding a red Hendrik line is the next step in my breeding journey, and obviously I only have a female right now, and we do have another reptile unboxing coming up in just a few weeks. So I think even though I teased it, you guys pretty much know what to expect. Even though I teased it though, and you know what to expect, I still think you're going to be very impressed by how this reptile looks. So I'm really excited for this. I hope you red fans out there in terms of Red Ackie Monitors are excited for this, because they're going to be coming soon and we'll be having Hendrik babies. So I'm super pumped, super excited. I am really excited to be breeding a line of Hendriks and learning as much as I have recently about different lines of Ackies like I talked about in the beginning of this video. Actually, if you guys want me to do a video on the different lines of Ackie monitors, there's quite a few, let me know in the comments. I'd love to do a video on it. And I think it's very underappreciated, undervalued nowadays. I feel like a lot of people just pair up Ackies regardless of their lines. And, you know, obviously genetic diversity is important, but I think keeping some lines together is important as well. So let me know, guys, but let's go ahead and we'll wrap up this video now. Shout out to the patrons, Cat and Rick, Mahan's Bioactive, Reptiles, Darian J, Herb M, David T, Angela L, and Smooth Cat. I really appreciate your support. Want to be on my head? Want to be a Patreon supporter? Check the upper right hand corner for a link to the Patreon. We got some really cool rewards. Check it out. Additionally, check out the merch. I'm wearing my Professor Herp logo right now, but we have 3 more designs as well. That's to the left of my head. Right of your screen, check the Teespring link in the description below for more information. We have it on coffee mugs, pillows, anything you can almost think of. Pillows is a weird one, but that will be in the Teespring link. Check it out. All right, guys, thanks so much for tuning in. Remember to like, comment, and subscribe. I'd really appreciate it, and I'll see you guys in the next video.